Our top story this hour, the issue of bioweapons being used in war in Ukraine has now reached the United Nations Security Council. An emergency meeting of the Council has been called today at the request of Russia, who alleges that the United States is funding research into creating bioweapons in Ukraine. Both the United States and Kiev had denied the allegations that said that this is a sign that Moscow could soon use the weapons itself. Western countries have in fact charged that this is ruse by Russia to lay the groundwork for using bio and chemical weapons in Ukraine, something Moscow has been accused of doing in Syria as well.
They accuse us, again us, that we are allegedly developing biological weapons. Allegedly, we are preparing a chemical attack. This makes me really worried because we've been repeatedly convinced. If you want to know Russia's plans, look at what Russia accuses others of. Look, spreading such accusations in the Russian media shows that it is they who are capable of this. The Russian military, the Russian special services, it shows that they want it. They have already done such things in other countries, similar. They themselves announced, they themselves complained, they themselves organized, and they will do so again and again, if they are not stopped.
This is a government that has used banned chemical weapons on its own people in the past. They've done so on Russian territory. They've done so on British soil. They have supported the brutal Assad regime, which itself has used banned chemical weapons on its people. So we know what this government will resort to, can resort to, has resorted to in the past. But the other element that gives us a good deal of concern is what we know about the Kremlin's tactics, especially its disinformation tactics.
The case of Russia using chemical weapons in Syria remains unresolved, but both Washington and London have raised the matter at a Security Council meeting on the issue. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that the allegations by the Kremlin are straight out the Russian playbook.
And I'll make you one other prediction, by the way, which is that the stuff that you're hearing about chemical weapons, this is straight out of their playbook. They start saying that there are chemical weapons that have been stored by their opponents or by the Americans, and so when they themselves deploy chemical weapons, as I fear they may, they have a sort of a maskirovka, a fake story ready to go. And you've seen it in Syria. You saw it even in the UK.
Russia has alleged that the United States was pouring millions of dollars to fund biolabs in Ukraine, at least 30 of them, in order to create bioweapons. The Defense Ministry said that the United States funded biolabs which were researching on how to spread deadly pathogens.
Особый интерес вызвала детальная информация о реализации США на территории Украины проекта по изучению переноса патогенов, мигрирующими между Украиной и Россией, другими соседними странами, дикими птицами. Согласно документам, американская сторона планировала вести на Украине в 2022 году работы по патогенам птиц, летучих мышей и рептилий с дальнейшим переходом к изучению возможности переноса ими африканской чумы свиней и сибирской язвы.
The World Health Organization meanwhile advised Ukraine to destroy high-threat pathogens that are housed in the country's public health labs. This in order to prevent any potential spills that would spread disease among the population. The risk of such a scenario have been raised as well. As Russian airstrikes and shelling continues indiscriminately in the country, like many other countries, Ukraine too has public labs studying how to mitigate threats of dangerous diseases affecting both animals and humans. Most recently, this also includes studying the COVID-19 virus. Its labs have received support from the United States, the European Union and the World Health Organization. And WION correspondent Giles Gibson has sent us this report from Latvia. Let's listen in.
To the United Nations in New York is saying that it is calling this meeting of the Security Council to discuss military biological activities of the US on the territory of Ukraine. As you were saying just a minute ago, there was just an instant reaction to this from the US mission to the United Nations, describing these claims as laughable We also have had the State Department in Washington weighing in on this, saying that Russia is inventing false pretexts in an attempt to justify its own horrific actions in Ukraine. I think a little bit of context that is also really worth noting here is that the World Health Organization has confirmed to the Reuters news agency that it told the Ukrainian government to destroy what it called high-threat pathogens that were being studied inside civilian laboratories. So things like COVID-19, like the coronavirus, being studied in civilian laboratories. There has been absolutely no evidence provided by Russia or anybody else that these military biological labs, these accusations that the US and the Ukrainians were working together on military activities, there is absolutely no evidence so far to support that.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.